to our flipped classroom. A flipped classroom inverts the traditional structure of a classroom. In a typical flipped lesson, students learn the theory at home. That leaves the lesson to do practical, discussion, analysis, and deeper research for deeper understanding.
We've both practiced this or tried this out in our lessons over the last few weeks. In geography, I find it really, really successful. The girls have been a lot more focused and engaged in their homework, I think, than usual, because they know they need that information for lesson time when they come in. And then the discussions in class just seem to be of better quality because the girls have done the research themselves and they're equipped to have those discussions in class rather than rushed and given them that information in the first 10 minutes of the lesson. I expect them to discuss around it. And also then their exam questions and answering those in class have been of better quality as well. We have given you out examples of both of our lessons. So this one is our geography lesson that we've done. So one of the more recent ones. So the top half of the page is what I gave the girls as their homework. It was the task, it was 3 broad questions on a concept that they had never looked at before. Below were some suggested resources for them to use to try and answer those questions. A lot of them videos, YouTube clips that I'd found, and 2 articles as well, one from the government website, so very, very good quality articles. And they were told to present their homework in any way that they wished. So they could create a poster answering the questions, they could take some notes, they could do a brainstorm, they could bring me in some PowerPoint slides. It didn't really matter as long as they were able to discuss those 3 questions when it came to the lesson and show what they had learnt. And underneath was sort of a shortened version of my lesson plan, what we did when we came back to the class. Firstly, the girls put in 2 very mixed ability groups where they show and tell their homework and what they learnt. We then have a class discussion around the 3 questions. And then the girls were set in differentiated groups where they completed exam questions using the information that they had been given. And I found it worked really, really well. And the girls enjoyed it as well.
I did mine different because normally, which is why we wanted to work together because I'm a practical subject. Flipping my lessons means that the practical would have to be at home, leaving the lesson time for the analysis. So for 6th form, year 12, where in lesson time I would usually talk about textiles artists, give them a demonstration, they pick their own piece, they would go away and do an artist copy and analysis for homework. I split them in 2, gave them 2 artists who look at the same theme. They had to go home, and I gave them a pack as well, like with information out of books, which had the step-by-step and things like that in. It would have the materials in there. They go home, some more links, do their own sample, pair up with the person with the other artist in lesson, teach the other person how to do their techniques, talk about the artist, and then do a comparison analysis. Because we normally do the analysis as homework, and it would just be me checking it and giving them pointers, I thought it worked really well because they've got other opinions. They discussed it in depth, which they wouldn't do with themselves, they just think of the first thing that came to mind. So their analysis was a lot better. And they learnt 2 skills in one lesson, whereas normally they would just learn the one that I showed them. So I found, even though practical is quite a lot for a lot to set up for them to do at home, because you have to make sure they've got the equipment, it was really worthwhile. A lot for lower school, I have filmed myself doing little techniques that they can watch to make their knowledge a bit better. So if they've not understood it in lesson, they could go home and check that they're doing it right. I would use this with them watching a tutorial of me. I've not done that yet, but that was how I would do it. I'd film myself doing a technique that they could watch and do at home, so they were still being taught by me. I think the YouTube and the websites are better for the 6th formers because they go off and look for other ones as well, whereas for maybe a 7 and 8, if they watched a tutorial that I filmed of myself, that would be easier for them to do. I found it really well.
And in geography we're trying that as well as now, where we have all of our lessons on Fronter. We're now I have tailored some of those for the girls to work through at home. So they go online onto Fronter, and it's our resources and things that we've set up in our lessons. And the girls can work through that at home and then come in and do the discussion in the lessons and the exam questions together as a class, rather than leaving some really difficult exam questions for them to do as homework, which is something that we find that we were doing, and the girls getting stuck and coming in and saying, well, I didn't do this because I didn't understand it, or I find this really difficult. We've left that bit for lesson, where I'm there to help them if they need me, so it's worked quite well.
They could also watch it at their own speed, so if they miss a bit they could rewind and watch it again, rather than not staring with their hand up and ask the questions.
So we asked some of our pupils then what they thought of our lessons over the last few weeks, and this is sort of the response that we have got. If it will work.
Flipped learning is learning the concepts or information at home or independently and then applying this in lessons.
I enjoyed these tasks, especially videos, as they were easy, and if there was a specific thing that I did not understand, I could listen again. Also, I could work at my own pace throughout the task.
I think this does help my understanding. I take it in better when working on my own and I can take my time.
I would like to see more flipped learning in lessons because it has helped me improve my independent learning, which is something I will rely on in my GCSEs.
In LS, I would like to do more research at home so we can discuss in class.
I would like to see more flipped learning lessons. In sociology, we could research at home and apply when essay planning in lesson. Also, in French, I could learn vocab at home and practice discussion in class.
On the little handout, on the front was just more about the information about what flipped learning is. There's no right or wrong way to do it, it's just changing your normal lesson thing. And then on the back is maybe somewhere where you can jot down some ideas of how you could implement it in your subject.
So is there any ideas, or whether they think it would work with them, or how they'd use it?
Yeah. If they have to know poems, they have to book of poems, they have to know that they will take into the exam, but they also have an unseen poem which they won't know. So they could use we could tell them to go. We usually go through all the poems in the book they need to know in lessons, but maybe I could give them a poem and work on it at home, show them clips, because there's loads of stuff on YouTube about the poems, and then they come back and do some work on it in the lesson.
Yeah, that's really good.
How do you flip a practical lesson? Could you flip a practical lesson?
Theory lesson, we've used it before, but when the GCSE just had their exam, they did like on Twitter, did like an open revision session, so it was live. So then obviously we tweeted it and our girls were watching it and they had all their revision notes. But that's something that we could do before a lesson before we teach it, so they could go away, listen to it. And the guy writes notes on the thing.
So we'd use it for exam questions, like revision lessons and stuff like that. We could probably use it for practical in the sense of getting them to plan, for certain topics, getting them to plan a practical session at home.
In more GCSE then we wouldn't do it.
Not in core,
No,
it's got no,
GCSE we could do.
Yeah. Go home and play the games and come in and stuff.
And
Might
you
not be going well in
I'm going to get any better at catching a ball.
Might not work. Do you find that they do actually all do it?
Yeah, because they've got to
I think
present, so it's, if they don't do it, they're letting...
Did you get anyone that didn't do it?
Well, I did 6 months and they
Yeah.
don't. And they had to produce a
No, I
pattern.
have. I'd the odd one that didn't do it, but on the whole they have done. And I think the quality of the homework has been better than when it has just been maybe other homeworks. Because I find research homeworks are always done better at quality anyway. They sort of run with that when they can, especially if they do it any way you want to, present it any way you want. They love that, and it will all, you always get, in geography I always get the more creative homeworks that way anyway. So it just has seemed to work really, really well. I've used it when we've had technical difficulties in O11 in the upper as well, our projector's gone, and it's quite hard then to change classrooms and things sometimes. So instead of set for homework, I've split the lesson in 2, because at the minute we do that hour in 10 minutes, and the girls have had their laptops and they've used the work on Frontier that I've set, where I've put something on Frontier for them to do, and they've sat on computers and they've worked it themselves, and they've plugged their heads into their headphones and they've watched a video and they've done the work on their own for the first 20-25 minutes, and then it's okay, log off, and we do some class discussion and we discuss what we've done, and we'll do some then class building and go around the room where we build exam questions and we use our knowledge that we've built from that, because I don't have the screen. But yeah, there's maybe some videos that I want them to see, or something from PowerPoint that I think is really important, but don't have that any longer. So that's worked quite well. It's rather than setting for homework, they can just do that in lesson for the first 20 minutes. That's worked. They love that, giving them the laptops and say, you know, do the lesson yourself for the first 20 minutes. And you can watch the video yourself, you plug it in. And they've all worked really, really well. And they can work at their own pace, so it's quite good for differentiation as well. The more able girls just get on with it, and you can sit with the sort of those who are struggling a little bit and help them through it. And other girls just, they love that, just that freedom to work on themselves. So I found it really useful that way as well.
When we were doing research about it, the main thing was learning was done outside, so it freed the lesson up for doing the fun things that they wouldn't normally do, what they would do as homework. So that was like the main thing, having a more interactive lesson rather than a teacher-led one, which are not as common anymore anyway. But yeah, because I think sometimes you think, oh, I'm wasting the time, but it was, you know, if you, you don't want to do the fun things because they've got so much to learn. Whereas if it kind of takes the pressure off to allow you to go in places that you haven't planned when people